There are three movies opening up this weekend, right? There's Ad Astra, there's Rambo Last Blood, and there's Downton Abbey. And I'm not going to lie, I thought Downton Abbey was probably going to end up losing the weekend. Not because the movie doesn't seem intriguing. Hell, out of all three, it's the one I'm most hyped to see. I'm a huge Downton Abbey fan, have loved it since 2011, just been rewatching the series now, and it's still just as good when I first saw it. But the fact that it's looking to pull in over $30 million and win the weekend in September is crazy. And it goes to show you the amount of love that there is for this particular movie and this particular franchise, especially going up against a Brad Pitt sci-fi action film and Rambo. And Rambo, and the controversy surrounding Rambo, you figure would be enough to actually propel the film to making a little bit more money. But let's take a look here. A feature film version of Downton Abbey is headed for an impressive $30 million opening weekend at 3,079 sites for an easy victory at the North American box office. The launch of Brad Pitt's space drama Ad Astra will land in second with about $20 million, and that's coming off of an $80 million budget. $20 million and an $80 million budget is not the best, but then again, it's under $100 million is not so bad these days. While Stallone's action thriller Rambo Last Blood will reel in about $18 million. STX's second frame of Hustlers should finish with about $16 million, down from the $30 that it made last weekend. And Warner Brothers' third weekend of it, Chapter 2, will follow at about $14 million, which is interesting because that's dropping all the way down from another $40 million to 14 million. So there's a lot of competition, plus a lot of people have already seen it. Now, of the new three films, Downton Abbey is faring the best, easily outperforming pre-release forecasts, which had it in around the 20 million range for each of the trio. The ITV series that aired in the US as part of PBS Masterpiece Classics followed the lives of the Earl of Grantham and his family, as well as the servants who worked for them at the large manor house at the turn of the 20th century, and it won 16 Emmys during its run. The thing is, the movie looks amazing. The movie looks great. The movie looks wonderful. I've watched as much of the previews, all the behind the scenes stuff, the cast interviews, and I'm excited to go back into this world in order to get my geek on with Downton Abbey. But I do find its success to be quite telling. And one of the reasons why is because period pieces don't tend to have this kind of flair in the United States. They just don't. This kind of drama doesn't do well here specifically. We know there's the BBC and BBC America, and they'll run a lot of that kind of stuff. PBS has the the Master Classic series, or Masterpiece Theater, sorry, their classics and everything else, and they'll do all that, and that's always fascinating to look at. But Downton kind of took the country by storm. I remember, I think it was Super Bowl in 2012 or 2013, where the most watched show after the Super Bowl aired was Downton Abbey. Downton Abbey was the number one most watched show after the Super Bowl, which is usually when everyone is scrambling to put something else on TV that's going to get a lot of attention. And it was a British upstairs downstairs classical drama set in the early parts of the 20th century. It's crazy, right? It's crazy to think how well it did. But look, I am excited to go and see this movie. I'm excited that it's going to be number one. And it goes to show you that you can do a television, a movie adaptation of a TV show, provided you treat it with the same class and the same dignity that you treat the show. And I think that's what a lot of people should learn here. When you want to adapt a TV show and you want to turn it into a movie, well, for one, get as many of the actors back as you can. They got everybody back, and treat it with respect and treat it with care. And I think that's one of the biggest problems with this side of the industry is they just kind of churn these things out as cash grabs that are soulless and that don't have any of the respect for the fan base. Downton clearly, and this is a show that ended 4 years ago, by the way. So it's not like it just recently ended and they ended it with the movie. They clearly have a love for what they do. They clearly wanted to tell a good story. And personally, I just can't wait to go back into that world. If you haven't seen the show, I highly recommend it. It's in my top 5 of all time. It's that good. It's a little bit, you got to kind of push through it a little bit. The first couple episodes are a bit rough, but kind of like Breaking Bad. The first season's a bit on the rough side. It starts to kind of pick up after that a little bit. And by the end, you're fully hooked. I don't even know what we would call ourselves. Downtonites, Abbey heads. I don't know. Is there a name for Downton Abbey fans? I have no idea. But anyway, your comments, let me know if you saw the movie, what you thought of it, or if you're interested in seeing this, or if I'm a big old nerd for loving it, or if you saw Rambo or Ad Astra, What do you think of those films? Let me know down in the comments below. Try to like this video. Let's try to get to 150 likes. I think that's a pretty good number. And I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day and peace out.